Alright, this is our first constructions video, and in this video we're just going to go over how to use some of the tools. You're just going to make some really simple stuff. Alright, first thing you're going to make is a point. To do that we use the point tool, and you can actually just click up here, or you could click and go point, and we'll make a point. Now we have the applet comes with a point already, but there's another point. If you want to move anything around, you select the move tool. We'll move things around. I'll move this one around. Okay. Next thing we're going to make is a line. So let's see. Under the line tool, we've got line, segment, and ray. So let's make a line. Let's go line, line. So we've made a line between those 2 points. Now, let's make a segment. Now, there's a couple different ways you can make a segment. One is I could make 2 points using the point tool, and then I can go over here and select segment and connect them with the segment. Or, let's do a couple of undo here. Or I could go and just select the segment tool, that's the segment tool, and just click and it'll create the points for me. Next, I want to make a ray. And for a ray, you select an initial point. You can see it makes the ray for you already, but then you have to pick a second point for it to pass through, like that. Of course, with the ray, we could also start by making 2 points, point, point, and then connect them with a ray. There you go. And you see I've been pressing this button up here a few times. That's the undo button. You can always undo things that you didn't want to do, and you can always redo them with this button. This button right here, I'm not going to click it right now. Well, might as well. Here. It takes everything back to where you started. It's like a reset button. So I'm going to go back here and put our, here was our line, here was our segment, and here was our ray. A couple other things that you can do here. You can also use the compass. The compass tool marks off distances between points. So for example, I'll click this point and this point, and it makes a circle that has a radius equal to the distance between those 2 points. And so I can set that circle anywhere. I'll set it right here. And now, I'll go to my move tool. If I move this point right here, that circle stays right there. So that distance that we originally marked between these 2 points is marked off all around this point right here. And notice that when I grab one of these earlier points and I move them closer together, the circle that represents the distance between them moves with it. Alright, next we have angle and distance over here, and these are measurement tools. So for example, with the distance tool, I could pick 2 points, and it'll tell me what the distance is between them. And if these labels ever get in your way, you can move them. Okay. So when I pick the 2 points, it automatically labels them for me. It calls them A and B. I could go down here and I could click here and here, and here, and here. Come on. These. Sorry. Forgot to pick my distance tool again. So distance, distance. And it's going to label these as E and F. I think it actually labels them in the order that you made them. So here's E and F. Go back here to my move tool. Move the label out of the way to mark the distance between E and F. You can also mark distances if it's a segment. You can just click on the segment. And it gives you there's the distance right there. I don't think that works for a line. Nope. Because the line doesn't have a defined length. I don't think it'll work for the ray either. Nope. Only works for segments. Next we have angles. So let's make another ray here. Let's go. Now we have an angle down here. If I want to measure the angle measure there, I could do one of 2 things. I could click. Let me just click on E. No, it won't. Alright. I can click on 3 points that go around the angle, so I can go F, E, D. Oh, Hold on, it's being picky. Sometimes it's a little finicky. F, E, and then whatever this point is over here. And it'll measure that angle. It's 34.74 if you can see it. And I can open it up, see if the angle gets bigger. It's about 82 degrees. It's about 132 degrees. It is, whoa, really big, 271 degrees. Now, we've not dealt with angle measures that are really bigger than 180. And also notice, I'm going to go back to before I made the angle. If I were to make the angle in the opposite direction, I went like this, you'll notice that GeoGebra marks the outside angle, which is just unfortunately how things work in this applet. So if you ever do that, if you're measuring an angle and it measures it the way you don't want it to go, you click the points in the wrong order, just undo and go back and click them in the right order. All right, I think that's about everything. In terms of tools, measuring angles, using the compass, line segments raise, points, and the move tool. Undo, redo, and reset over here. All right, so get on with your assignment. Oh, you want to submit your assignment. I forgot about that. Here, you click on the share button. You choose link. You choose classroom. Now, my setup looks a little bit different than yours because I'm the teacher of the classroom. So I have a bunch of classes listed here. Or you'll just have your class listed. I think you might be able to say something about it or add a note, I'm not sure. And then there'll be some button, I don't think it says assign for you, it says something else. You click on it. You may be asked to log in at some point, so just go ahead and do that. And then you'll be all set. All right. Well, good luck with your assignment.